The assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, remains one of the most shocking and significant events in American history. Kennedy's death not only ended a promising presidency, but also triggered a wave of conspiracy theories and intense national soul-searching. In this video, we delve into tragic death of John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy, a brief biography. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, often referred to as JFK, was born on May 29, 1917, in Brookline, Massachusetts. He was the second of 9 children born to Joseph P. Kennedy Sr. and Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy. The Kennedy family was well known in American society, with a rich history of public service and political involvement. Early life and education. Kennedy attended the prestigious Choate Rosemary Hall Prep School in Connecticut before enrolling at Harvard University. At Harvard, he wrote his senior thesis on British appeasement policies, which was later published as the book Why England Slept. His academic prowess and charming personality marked him as a future leader. During World War II, Kennedy served in the U.S. Navy. He commanded a patrol torpedo PT boat in the South Pacific, which was famously rammed by a Japanese destroyer. His leadership and bravery in rescuing his crew members earned him the Navy and Marine Corps Medal. This experience solidified his image as a war hero and propelled him into the national spotlight. Kennedy's political career began in 1946 when he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. In 1952, he won a seat in the U.S. Senate. His charisma, oratory skills, and progressive vision helped him secure Democratic nomination for president in 1960. Kennedy's campaign was notable for its emphasis on the future and its use of television as a medium to connect with voters. The presidency John F. Kennedy was inaugurated as the 35th President of the United States on January 20, 1961. His presidency was marked by several key events and initiatives. The Cuban Missile Crisis. In October 1962, the world came perilously close to nuclear war during a 13-day standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union over Soviet ballistic missiles deployed in Cuba. Kennedy's careful diplomacy and resolve led to a peaceful resolution. The space race. Kennedy passionately supported the American space program. In a famous speech at Rice University in 1962, he declared that the U.S. would land a man on the moon by the end of the decade, igniting national enthusiasm for space exploration. Civil rights movement. Kennedy advocated for civil rights, proposing comprehensive legislation to end segregation and protect voting rights. His support was instrumental in advancing the cause, though significant progress would occur after his death. The Peace Corps. Established in 1961, the Peace Corps was one of Kennedy's enduring legacies, promoting global peace and friendship through volunteer service. Assassination, November 22, 1963. The tragic events of November 22, 1963 began as a routine political trip to Texas. Kennedy aimed to garner support for his re-election campaign and mend political fences within the state. The day's itinerary included a motorcade through downtown Dallas. At 12:30 p.m., as the presidential limousine traveled through Dealey Plaza, 3 shots rang out. Kennedy was struck by 2 bullets, the fatal shot hitting his head. Texas Governor John Connally, riding in the same car, was also wounded. The motorcade rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital, but doctors were unable to save the president. At 1 p.m., John F. Kennedy was pronounced dead. Lee Harvey Oswald, the accused assassin. Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine and self-proclaimed Marxist, was apprehended shortly after the assassination. Oswald had a controversial and erratic background, including a defection to the Soviet Union and subsequent return to the United States. He was charged with the murder of President Kennedy, but before he could be brought to trial, nightclub owner Jack Ruby shot and killed Oswald on live television 2 days later. In the wake of Kennedy's assassination, President Lyndon B. Johnson established the Warren Commission, chaired by Chief Justice Earl Warren, to investigate the murder. The commission concluded that Oswald acted alone in killing Kennedy and that there was no conspiracy. Despite this, the findings were met with skepticism and numerous alternative theories emerged. Conspiracy theories. The assassination of John F. Kennedy has been fertile ground for conspiracy theories, fueled by perceived inconsistencies and unanswered questions. Some of the most prominent theories include multiple gunmen. Some theorists argue that multiple shooters were involved, citing the trajectory of the bullets and eyewitness accounts of shots from the grassy knoll. CIA involvement. The Central Intelligence Agency has been implicated in various theories, with claims that Kennedy's attempts to curtail the agency's power led to his assassination. Mafia connections. Others suggest that organized crime figures orchestrated the assassination in retaliation for the Kennedy administration's crackdown on the mafia. Cuban and Soviet plots. Given the tense Cold War climate, some believe that Fidel Castro or the Soviet Union orchestrated the killing in response to Kennedy's aggressive policies toward Cuba and the USSR. The magic bullet theory. Critics of the Warren Commission have pointed to the magic bullet theory, which posits that a single bullet caused multiple wounds to both Kennedy and Connolly. Skeptics argue that this scenario is implausible. The impact on the United States. The assassination of John F. Kennedy had profound and lasting effects on the United States, influencing politics, culture, and public trust. Kennedy's death elevated Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson to the presidency. Johnson leveraged the nation's grief to push through landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These laws were pivotal in the fight against racial segregation and discrimination. Cultural shifts. Kennedy's assassination marked the end of the post-World War II era of optimism and the beginning of a more turbulent period in American history. The 1960s saw increased political activism, social upheaval, and a growing distrust of government institutions. The media played a crucial role in shaping public perception of the assassination. Television coverage brought the tragedy into American homes, creating a shared national experience. The graphic footage of Kennedy's assassination and Oswald's murder live on television contributed to a sense of collective trauma. The doubts and suspicions surrounding the official account of Kennedy's assassination contributed to a broader culture of conspiracy in the United States. This skepticism extended to other significant events, including the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy, and even the Watergate scandal. Remembering JFK John F. Kennedy's legacy endures through various memorials and institutions dedicated to his memory. The John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum in Boston preserves his papers and artifacts, offering insights into his life and presidency. The Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. stands as a testament to his support for the arts. Kennedy's presidency is often romanticized as a modern-day Camelot, a term popularized by Jacqueline Kennedy in the aftermath of his death. This idealized view emphasizes the youth, vigor, and optimism that Kennedy brought to the White House. Kennedy's vision for America continues to inspire future generations. His call to public service, epitomized by the famous line from his inaugural address, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country," remains a powerful reminder of the importance of civic engagement. Conclusion. The tragic death of John F. Kennedy was a defining moment in American history. It abruptly ended a promising presidency and left the nation grappling with grief, confusion, and a sense of lost potential. Despite the passage of time, the questions and controversies surrounding his assassination persist, reflecting the enduring impact of his life and death on the American psyche. Kennedy's legacy, however, transcends the circumstances of his death. His vision for a better, more just world continues to inspire, and his contributions to civil rights, space exploration, and global peace are lasting testaments to his leadership. As the nation continues to reflect on Kennedy's life and the circumstances of his tragic death, his enduring influence on American society remains undeniable.